Gemma G, back live again. And today, on my journey in my PhD in Integrative Medicine, I want to share with you a little bit about the Taoistic medicine and the Light Circulatory System, because I feel the more we understand this realm, the better experience we're going to have as human beings in this place called Earth. So I'll give you a minute to jump on. I can see you getting there. Say hello. Let me know who's there. All I can see is when people jump on. So as some of you will know, my journey through the medical health and wellness world has entered me into a space of the quantum realm and a deeper understanding of what it means to exist as a human, and also how we can make the best of our experience here on this planet. And whether that's to do with optimal health and wellness, or whether that's to do with generating an existence that you would love to manifest for yourself. That's what's exciting me these days. So when we're looking at the Taoist medicine and quantum physics, they essentially have the same viewpoint. So when it comes to looking at the universe, so that the tune of the flow of the energy via a quantum code is through the I Ching, and that's when we're taking this Taoist approach to, which is old ancient wisdom in terms of healing and moving through space and time as our human experience here. So it's a quantum language, and it was originally created by these Taoist masters whose understanding of life is extremely similar and matches really our new understanding of, well, not even new understanding, our deeper understanding of physics today. And so when we start to pull all of that together and we start really understanding quantum physics and consciousness and how that all runs through all of us and we are all connected, then we're able to tap into that invisible realm. So quantum physics states that matter is not only made of matter, but is also a crystallized form of energy and information. So one of the teachings that I recall when I went through science in high school was that, the essence of it all, the atom is the matter and is the only thing real or tangible. But that in itself is not true, because I've gone and discovered more about the subatomic particles, which are really just energy vortices. And so they're crystallized forms of energy and information. And that information is encoded and decoded by our DNA, which acts as an antenna in the system. And this is really where it gets really exciting, because you then, once you get this basic understanding of it, that you're more of a conduit, shall we say, and to send and receive this information, then you can start to manipulate the flow of the information that comes your way. So the primary phenomenon of being able to really access this consciousness in this quantum realm and start to be able to manifest the life that you're looking for, it's really on how we relate to it. So it comes back to the intention behind everything that we do. So matter is the crystallized form of this information, basically, and at the end of dividing matter into smaller and smaller particles, something remains which is similar to consciousness, and that's the field of infinite possibilities. It's kind of interchangeable from what I'm starting to really understand. Consciousness is the quantum realm. Consciousness is a higher awareness, a higher vibration. And within that lies a field of infinite possibilities. Everything exists. Every possibility exists. It's a matter of tuning into that frequency of that manifestation of matter. But what people are doing is they tend to be trying to create that based on their 3D reality. And you can't create matter from matter. So meaning that what you see and perceive in your world right at this very moment, if you're trying to generate a higher experience based on what you see and currently are experiencing, it's not going to work. And the reason it won't work is because you can't generate from matter from matter. It has to come from that crystallized form of energy. Making sense? Kind of, sort of. All right, so here we go. So talking about this crystallized form of energy and information, it's potentiality and consciousness, and it is the field of information that we are all connected in. We are all connected. That's why they say we're all one. All right, so the idea of consciousness starting from nothing is really close in terms of the points of view from the Taoism or the Taoism medicine approach and quantum physics, which is often known now as the new science. It's not that it's new, it's that our understanding is newer. And if you listened to me yesterday or the day before, whenever I was on again, it's really it's understanding that this electromagnetic field is a very endogenous generated phenomenon as well. So the I Ching is the quantum model, and it encompasses the two thoughts or mindsets of that energy and consciousness is the basic form of matter. And new physics states that matter is not only made of matter, but, and I said that before, is a crystallized form of energy and information. So there's layers and layers and layers of information, which is why when you raise your vibe, you end up having different experiences. And that vibration manifests different forms of matter. And as we talked about, everything you see is essentially just a vibration. It's a vibration, and the particles on waves and how they show up is to do with the level of vibration that you're at, which is why relating to the field is so important. So if you're trying to manifest something in your world, whether it's optimal health, whether you're trying to restore from chronic disease or illness, because this is the field I find myself in, or whether you're trying to, as I said before, manifest a particular way of life. It's about our intention behind those manifestations. So how do you manifest? Manifesting is about thinking. So you have that thought that's electric. It sends out to the invisible field that you can't see but definitely exists. It's measurable. There's heaps of data that supports that. So you have that thought that sends out an electric signal, and then the feeling is the magnetic aspect. And so then that is also sent out into the field, but that's what pulls in the reality you're wanting to experience. Sounds simple, I know, but it definitely works. So we're going to dig a little deeper. And because this matter is a crystallized form of energy within this biofield, this is why there's so much power in crystals. And it's often seen as very woo-woo, but crystals attract energy. And these different crystals have different properties and abilities. So you can dig into that a little bit more. But one of the things I've actually started to do is you can get these crystal yoni eggs, and it's some might see it as a pelvic floor device or tool, shall we say. But when you're getting the crystallized form, that's placed right in that second chakra. That's your creative life force. That's where your creative energy is. So you're thinking about all of those centers in the body that are emitting out into this invisible field. You want them to be in line. You want them to be powerful. You want them to be strong and bright. So having a crystal right in the heart of the second chakra, man, that's just going to be pulling in all sorts of forms of crystallized energy and information. And that's where then our biofield decodes that. Okay, so consciousness is the underlayer, basically kind of the deepest layer of the field of information. And that is where and from which manifestation actually occurs. That's where you can manifest the physical form of what you're wanting to experience. But as I mentioned before, you cannot generate matter from matter. You generate from the conscious within. And we are going to dig with it. So if you're kind of going, oh Lordy, what is she going on about? Just hang with me. It's I'm going to talk you through this. So how much of the connection to the field you develop is really, really important as well. And it's not that difficult. It's being able to activate as many of the senses as that you have and that you can. And the deeper you can connect, the more advantage you're able to take of the information which is in that form, that energized form. All right, remember everything's a vibration, and it's through that I Ching, which is the decoding. It's an ancient wisdom decoding of this information, kind of like a Morse code, if you would. All right, so here's some of the things that we want to be able to do, because there's this knowledge that is outside of us, yet we're inside it all at the same time. So we are immersed within this conscious field. We are immersed within everything that's tying the whole universe together. We are all part of it. We are all one. And it's, if you can go inside, as I mentioned the other day, you go within to get to that brain state where you're able to access, what you'd call the void, where there's you enter as nothing, no body, no time, no ego. That's when then you can start to really tap into that subatomic energy that exists there, which is where matter is manifested from. So we need to master our thinking, the way we think, the thoughts that we have. When I'm working with people, I often talk about, what are the first thoughts that come to mind as soon as you wake up? Because remember, we're a subconscious program. So 95% of what we think, we do, we feel that we've done yesterday, we're going to do today, we'll do again tomorrow. We're driven by a subconscious program. Remember, we are software. We're a software program. We are biophotonic light beings. And much like you can program a computer setting or computer program or whatever it is that you want to program, you can program us as human beings as well. And so being aware, bringing awareness to what our thoughts are as soon as we wake is really important. As we go through the day, when we drift off and we're not focusing any longer, what's the chitter chatter that's going on in the background? That's your subconscious program. Does it serve you? Is it true? Is it your belief? Is it your value? Or is it just your perception of whatever's going on in your world based on your past experiences? And usually it goes back to childhood traumas and experiences, because those are those fractal patterns that get set up that are running the show. And so it's when we become masters of our thoughts and more aware that we're able to actually overcome ourselves and overcome that aspect of the program and say, not today, I'm not running that program today. So mastering our intentions in healing as well. So if you're on a healing journey, so important that as we step into whatever modality it is, or whatever routine or ritual that we're having, the intention behind that is powerful. It carries so much weight in that invisible realm. Believing and feeling like whatever it is that you're trying to achieve has already happened. And that's how you create a map to your future. Basically, that's how you bring whatever reality you're trying to experience, that's how you bring it in. This is based on a lot of Dr. Joe's work, lots of Bruce Lipton's work, Dr. Goswami as well, and they're all part of this university that I'm journeying through. So there's a technique where we need to start to interface the physical with the non-physical. So in everything that we are doing, even as I'm doing this video right now, the intention behind trying to get out there and share with people the knowledge of how to access this realm and to be able to manifest optimal health or manifest abundance in every aspect of your life. It's so that we can raise humanity, so we can start having heaven on earth. Who doesn't want to have that? So you need to be in touch with this energy if you are wanting to, be competent in anything that you're doing. So our belief system in terms of dis-ease and illness, our belief system really, really, really does impact the outcome of whatever modality or however that you're seeing. The belief system not only of the healer, but also the healee. And as I say to people, I don't heal people. I just facilitate that, create a space and provide the modalities and the insights and the support for people to be able to tap into that self-restoration that we're all capable of. But the belief system about the dis-ease that you're experiencing, whether it's anxiety, whether it's insomnia, whether it's a chronic illness or an autoimmune, your belief system holds so much weight over the outcome. And to keep that in mind also when we are working with other therapists or working, even with people, close family members, that the belief system that we all share is so important, holds a lot of power. And if you're in a belief system of that infinite possibilities exist, then it's just a matter of changing the dial on the radio station, shall we say. Because the quantum realm, man, it's infinite. If you're looking at it from a geometric perspective or from a mathematical perspective, it's infinite. There's infinite variations of vibrations. And as I keep saying, I'm going to say it over again, the more you start understanding what you're experiencing is just a vibration, everything's a vibration. We're really just projections here, projections of light. We're the trick of the light, essentially. And the more you can start to change your world. I don't like to use the word manipulate. But you can change your world and bring in whatever experiences you choose to have. Let's see. So you want to be in a neutral, compassionate mode and with this relation with the field. So surrendering to coming in and being at peace with no matter what is happening within your own world. Currently, it's finding this surrender because you can't manifest if you're holding on to a particular outcome. You just need to surrender how it happens, because the universe will work in mysterious ways. So be in neutral, compassionate mode, and the relation with the field, with consciousness is important. And we've got our own capacity to tap into this vital force, which is the vital body. And that will also impact on whoever it is that you're working with or who's around you that you're trying to support in whatever way that might be. And once we gain a greater awareness of ourself, awareness of why do we react the certain way that we do? Why do we avoid certain situations? Why are we responsive to comments or to circumstances or disappointments or whatever it is? The more awareness we have of ourselves and understanding that we're all mirrors for each other. We're all providing a reflection for one another, and within that there's a lesson for ourselves. So the more we can get into that self-awareness space, the more we are now starting to live in our soul's purpose and not our ego's purpose. So the field of infinite possibility is holistic, it's open, it's living, it's potentiality, it's a possibility, it's eventuality. As I said before, trying to create a different life based on the life that you have right now, that just keeps you stuck in the 3D realm. And you'll just keep getting more of the same until you demagnetize yourself from the emotional state of a past experience. Otherwise, it just keeps coming back into you in different forms. So if we need to overcome, and you need a tremendous amount of energy to be able to overcome a state that you probably don't even know that you're in, so that you can start to, as I say, switch the dial a little bit and then be bringing in another reality. When you look at quantum physics, because I know I speak about it a lot and most people don't know what that is, they consider the smallest subatomic particles are not material at all, but a field of information. And that information has layers and layers and layers of information. And I've spoken about the 64 I Ching, the quantum language that is used to translate the binary code, because everything's a binary code in this realm that we live in. Think about the Matrix, right? Like in terms of the documentary or the movie, and you looked at how it was all about that, programming that you'd constantly see streaming down. They knew how to interpret, but if you didn't know what you were looking at, you wouldn't know what it is. Well, that invisible realm is essentially that. We just can't see it, but it exists and is measurable. And the universe itself is really just a production of information. This is why when you manifest and when you start to understand how to manifest, and it doesn't take long to learn, and once you do learn it, you can do it in a heartbeat. And once you learn how to access and tap into that, the universe can't not deliver because it's just coding. So mindful of your thoughts, but in particular your feelings when it is that you are, I don't know, let's say you're looking at getting a new job, for example, and maybe you're applying for it. Well, the language you use is incredibly important, absolutely. And as you are writing your application and as you go to send that application, just check your state of being. Are you frustrated? Are you pissed off? Are you in a disappointed mood? Or whatever it is. Elevate your state to this, to where you can start to access these higher fields, these higher frequencies, and then hit your send button. No, I'm going to tell you. You better be ready for what's coming your way. Because it works. It really does. So going a little bit more into those subatomic particles, as I was talking about, in this field of information, they're actually tiny articulations of reality. The whole universe is a fluctuation of information. It's all that it is. And this field of information not only exists within each living person, as I said before, we're all connected. It extends through the entire cosmos. And everything is one. This is where we say we are one. But what does that even really mean? On the deep level, it means that we are all connected. This is how telepathy is possible. Clairsentient. So I'm somebody who I can see visions. I see the future more than I see the past, although I can tap those realms as well. But I will get visions of potentialities, and sometimes I tell people what I see. Sometimes they're not ready to hear it, but if they're ready to embrace it, then it's kind of then teaching people how to access that reality. Because I see stuff. It's great. It's a great gift to have. So collective consciousness, and I was mentioning this to someone before, if we are all being able to tap this field of information and we are all starting to be able to understand that a greater coherent system wins, shall we say, or is able to reach these higher vibrational experiences here on round Earth, the more of us that are doing it and the more we can get in one space of people doing it. So it's why meditating in groups is so powerful. You can actually change reality, and we can change our current reality. We can change the state of the world that we are living in at the moment, that's so driven by fear and lack and separation, right? If we can all start to really tap into these higher vibes as a collective, then we can alter that reality and generate positive health and heal others. And they say, like mathematically, it actually just requires a certain amount of people to be able to do that. There'll be a critical number, and we're going to see this shift. And I do believe we're actually witnessing this at the moment, where people are starting to break out of these central dogmas that academics and economics and healthcare and religion are based on, and we are that's all falling away, and we're starting to realize who we are as beings. And we are greater, so much greater than the physical body that we reside in. We just are. So relation to the field of information is most important, how you relate to it. Changing your behavior, changing your lifestyle, changing your environment, for example. And I said that to someone the other day. I'm not sure that you'd actually... you have to be ready to step into this new reality. So let's say you have a desire of achieving, I don't know, whatever it is you want to achieve. You have to be willing to step into that space as the person who exists as if they've achieved that already. You can't achieve something different by being the same. I mean, that's just the definition of insanity, isn't it? So who is that person that if you're envisioning yourself as success or I don't know, whatever it is you're trying to achieve into your life, how would you be if you achieved that? And how does that feel like? And how do you behave? What's your lifestyle like if you're achieving whatever goal that you've set? Because if it's something different to what you have now, you need to step into that space fully, which means you have to let go of a few things, and not everybody's willing to do that. So this network of light is related to what they call the fifth circulatory system. It's a more subtle nature of energy, and it's completely related to quantum and subquantum processes. And that field of consciousness is just really crystallized matter, ready to be activated, shall we say. And again, it comes back to why crystals are so important. A lot of people might find them woo-woo, but let me tell you, they hold a lot of power. And they know it, and that's why they perceive them as woo-woo, or make us think that way. So quantum biophysics, wave genetics are also bringing important information about the existence of this multi-dimensional energy matrix that interpenetrates the human biological body. Let me say that one again, because I really love that. Quantum biology, biophysics, wave genetics are also bringing important information about the existence of this multi-dimensional energy matrix. So as I said before, consciousness, there are layers and layers of this information. We live in this realm of infinite possibilities, which are all vibrational, and it's all about coded information, and there are layers of it, which is why there's infinite ways that people can experience joy or happiness or disappointment or excitement or anger or frustration or grief. Like, that'll come in so many different forms, because the realm we live in has got gazillions of different ways of that showing up and manifesting. So remember, through this crystallized energy, that's how matter is manifested. That's how, things come into reality. Okay, so choose your experience is what I say to people. There's this old indoctrinated linear way of thinking, and that's the materialistic approach to healthcare dis-ease. Okay, so this is again based on the Newton's physics, which had its purpose, it really did, but there's more to us than this matter. And matter is not even matter anyway, so it's just energy. So when you go from this transition from a lateral thinking into more of a multi-dimensional way of thinking, then it does incorporate these bases of layers of information I'm talking about, and different modalities will help you tap into those layers of the biofield to restore health. Yeah. All right. So it does go on into a little bit more, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just end it here and pick up lesson part 2 of this tomorrow, so that I don't drop you off. So tomorrow I'll be talking a little bit more about the bliss body, the supramental body, the metal body, the vital body, and of course the physical body, which we all know very well, and about the thinking belief system that impacts us more than any other intervention that we have. So my wish for you is that you are able to experience this state of being, that you're able to start to understand how much power and control you actually hold within, and your ability to experience life on this earth in its all full potential, and not being stuck in these 3-dimensional patterns that we've come to believe is the only way to get by. So if you're out there and you're hustling really hard and you're doing a lot of, work, and you're burning the candles at both ends, like, I commend definitely that there's the actioning that we have to do, but there is an easier way, and you don't have to work as hard. I can promise you that. So stick with me as I go through my PhD journey. Hopefully you'll find some of this helpful, and I am going to pop it up. I've started my YouTube channel, so I'm going to place it up there so that you can step in and catch any series or parts you may have missed. Message me with any questions that you have. I love hearing from you all, and if there's any way that I can help you tap into the higher realms, let me know. Love and light. I'm out of here. Yes, I do want to end this.